Last we left off, you guys had dealt with the previously enslaved person by essentially just kind of shoving them into Itri's demi-plane and choosing a couple to be in charge of the other one, and just kind of hoping for the best there. You left the city of Gloomvale and started making your way westward towards the mountains, hoping to locate the undead phoenix that you're looking for. Along the way, you encountered some strange creatures, the beings known collectively as Sorrowsworn, of which seem to be creatures, according to the books that one of you looked at, who has yet to arrive, that they seem to be creatures that embody the forms of suffering that are kind of inherent in the shadowy landscape around you. But you guys were able to kill these creatures. So, what would you like to do?
All of the blood and goo. These creatures don't have anything worth like to loot. Like they don't have any armor belongings.
They don't have armor, but you can pat them down if you like.
Well, Kara, do you want to pat these down?
Well, we've already did a murder. Might as well do, some desecration of corpses. Yes, we loot the bodies. Is there anything of interest on them?
Roll an investigation check.
Gray is the best one to desecrate the bodies because she can undesecrate them right afterwards.
I'm pretty sure that's a 9.
Okay.
Yep, that's a 9.
Okay. Which one do you loot first? Because there were 2 lonely and then 1 angry.
Who am I standing over? I am by the angry.
Okay. So you are kind of patting this creature down, looking for anything. You're able to find a small signal whistle.
Upon finding the whistle, I kind of stick my head up and kind of like murmur at the resident warlock and go, "Magic?"
Not magical. It looks kind of old and rusted.
Well, that's a mystery for later. That goes in a pocket.
All right. Would you like to take a look at the other bodies?
Can someone who actually has an intelligence score investigate the other bodies?
My investigation is shoot, so not me.
Tobias can investigate. He has a +7.
Are you still owlbearer?
He is, and I was gonna say that he probably, like, when the fight's over and stuff, he'll turn to Eitri and be like, Are you good?
He seems kind of baffled, but he just gives it a little thumbs up.
Tobias is like, looks down at himself, kind of remembers that he's like, right, I transformed. Looks to the side, goes, you can ask me about it later. Shuffles over to the bodies.
Okay.
So roll for investigation.
Mhm.
Tobias rolled a fucking 1, you stupid shitter, you stupid little shitter. That's
Still
an 8.
higher than mine. Oh wait, never mind.
Call information about Fae, fiends, or undead. That is, these creatures are none of them, are they?
Mm-mm.
Damn it! Yeah, he rolled an 8.
Okay. It's funny because you're not quite sure how you missed it before, maybe through being impaled, but this one has a bear trap on its leg.
What?
Tobias will
Free
immediately point
bear
that out to
trap?
Aaron and be like, Aaron, free bear trap!
Free bear trap!
Aaron, you'll have to get the bear trap. I don't know these
Yeah.
thoughts.
Aaron will wrestle the bear trap off the thing.
All right, easily done. It's also at this point that I have to ask, Lish, are you still glowing?
Everything's dead, so I think he dropped Sunbeam, unless there's
Okay.
something else around.
Perception check.
That's for Avery to know, and for the rest of
Yeah,
us to know.
I'll do a perception check first. He's like, huh. Looking around. Okay. It's the day of fucking ones. That's an 11.
Okay. You see a couple of the gloom stalkers, like high up above, seeming to have noticed your glowing.
Yeah, I'll drop it, and I'll kind of gesture to everyone. It's like, we should probably keep moving.
All right. Tobias, did you want to look at the next Arrowsworn, or are you gonna leave it?
He'll do a quick look over. Let's see. That's significantly better. That's a 26.
26. So when looking at this one, you're able to find, let's see, a knife kind of lodged into its side. Looks more like a cooking knife. Probably some remainder of an encounter past. You are also able to find a golden locket.
So you say finds a kitchen knife and a golden locket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He will take both of those and kind of like push them into his pack.
Do you look inside the golden locket at all?
You know what? Yeah, he'll open the golden locket.
There's a very faded little painting of two smiling children.
Oh man. Okay. He'll be careful when putting that locket into his bag. He doesn't want to ruin it.
So at this point, you can all kind of hear the shrieking of the gloomstalkers above.
we should go.
We should go.
It's time for us to leave.
All right.
I'll go make sure that we pick up the broom where the broom was dropped to an Eitri. Stopped. And it's just like, put it to Eitri's chest, and he's just like, don't lose this.
Well,
I
I'm sorry that I got impaled by a strange creature.
I got impaled as well. You don't see me throwing my belongings all over the place.
Tobias quietly goes and picks up his bow that he had dropped onto the ground when he transformed.
Action economy's a bitch.
Yeah.
Actions in this economy?
Most likely than you think.
Lish is mostly teasing, a little serious. Like, I would prefer not to lose this broom.
Mhm. All right.
We're moving, I think. Is Toby staying as an owl bear for a while? Or are you transformed?
Because how are we, if we're mounted on stuff usually or whatever, he'll probably detransform. Because he can only maintain this thing for an hour.
So, how did we were two on Lish, Eitri on the broom, 2 on Yag. I forget if we had anything else going on for transport. I think that was it, right?
Yeah, Valk needs to resummon her useless horse.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do that real quick, and then we'll get a move on.
While you guys are resummoning the beasties, wisdom saving throws, please.
Oh boy.
Tobias got a 7.
Tobias, for fuck's sake.
Are you within 10 of me?
I do not know. Tobias was riding on the back of Lish originally with Demir.
Yeah, according to the marching order we had last time, Lish, Tobias, and Demir were up front, so no.
15 for Aaron.
Okay.
I got a 21.
All right.
Oh, 23.
Cool.
Avery, are you gonna roll for Demir, or should I?
That is a 15 plus 7, so 22.
Cool. Hawk? Max?
Sorry?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Right. Sorry. Okay, not doing my roll consistent, but 21.
Okay. Tobias, I would love a D12.
Okay. A D12. Wow, that's a first. That's a 10.
Okay.
How's Tobias feeling?
Depressed.
Okay, but like other than that.
Where are you? Okay. There we go. Boop.
I was gonna say, if Toby is feeling depressed, is that any different from normal?
No, his for him he might seem just slightly gloomier, but it would be logical to assume that it's just because, well, we've been seeing some depressing shit.
Yeah, we don't have
It doesn't
any.
look that out of the ordinary.
We don't have any reasonable cause to assume that he might be cursed or anything. So as good players, we can't act on it. But that's scary.
Okay.
All right.
While writing, I do have questions for Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I take it those are the things that you read about and warned us about.
Definitely seems like it.
Uh, did any of the books you were reading indicate uh, cures for these conditions? Is this a restoration, a
I
remove
looked
curse?
I looked around after I found that, but I don't think I was able to find any actual cure for what this does. Must be a full transformation of some kind. You might need really powerful magic to undo it if that even works.
And did it say anything about preventative measures?
Not that I'm aware of, but uh, Lish and I readily assumed that it might be some sort of magic or curse, so dispelations and such should help. At least I hope.
I would need to check if I have restore what a minor restoration, major restoration. There.
Lish growls as a wolf. At least I
You
think.
can't understand him, but
I'm
if Demir is willing to translate,
Mir's a little backpack for Toby, but she'll probably translate.
is she like polymorphed herself, or is she just small in the vibe?
Yeah, sure. She used her one a day polymorph to become a little uh whatchamacallit, one of those little flying squirrels.
Sugar glider?
Sugar glider, yeah.
With the most
Wait,
bulging of eyes.
wouldn't she not be able to translate them because she can't talk either?
I guess not. No communication.
Whoops.
You just
So we
hear
hear
you just
Wolf
hear Lish
growl.
go.
So we hear Lish
"Rawr,
Wolf
rawr,
growling out something with like little barks or whatever. And then we hear
rawr,
like
rawr, 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 rawr,
chitterings
rawr."
from Toby's back. It's just like this is supposed to be productive.
Well,
Let's just keep moving.
All right. Can I have someone roll? Let's see, D20.
I can. D20. 13.
All right. Let me. Okay. It's starting to get darker because that is how the progression of time goes. It is evening, nearly evening. You guys, while walking, can see a single door kind of off the trail a little bit, just kind of standing by itself in the field. There's nothing else around it, and no worn path leading to it, but it does have a dead raven nailed to it.
Thus.
That's bait.
Do we want to stop?
That's not ominous at all.
Lish will kind of slow down and look at it.
All right.
How far away are we from it?
It's like a few yards away.
Hmm.
And just to clarify, you said it was a gate or a door?
A single door,
Single
standing
door.
alone in the field with a dead raven nailed to it.
Okay.
It looks like sort of if a house burned to the ground, there would be some sort of foundation visible, but there's no foundation. There's just the door.
Is there a space for a foundation, like an empty space, or is it just like
Yeah. We're in
okay?
a field.
Is it a door or a door frame?
Door.
Door. There's something nailed to it. That something's a dead raven.
Divine sense. Is it evil?
I mean, there's undead all around you, but you're not really getting anything from the door specifically.
Okay. Wait a second. You said surrounded by undead. How surrounded and how close are we talking?
You're in the Shadowfell. There's lots of undead here.
Fair enough. Well, I'm not inclined to deal with that.
Doesn't seem like we should mess with the ward or curse.
Yeah. Let's maybe travel another hour down the road before we set up camp for the evening.
Yeah, let's get as far as we can.
Agreed.
Are we able to kind of tell what time of day it is by this point?
I mean, you've been traveling for a while at this point. You feel like about a day has passed.
Okay. Yeah.
It is hard to tell the true passage of time in the depression plane.
Funny that.
I guess we'll keep going for a little bit longer and then find a place to settle in.
It's always too cloudy. The SAD kicks in.
All right. So you continue along the path. When you set up camp, do you stay on the trail itself, or do you move off a little bit? And also, do you want to set up the fortress?
I have a Leoman's tiny hut, which isn't that a ritual spell?
It can be.
I think if we can get in the trees with a bit of, if there are trees, if there's any place with like protection from the sky where the flying guys have been hunting, that would be best.
There aren't many trees in this area. This is the mirror of the farmland outside Apatix on the material plane.
Yeah, probably Leomans if we can, because that way we can somewhat disguise us.
Yeah, and it's basically free since ritual spell. It just takes time to cast.
All right. So you guys set up Liam's tiny hut. Are there any conversations that would like to be had this evening?
Yes. I wish to confer with the other primary healer of the group about if we should be initiating preventative measures in regards to the cursed stuff. Thoughts, Lish?
Whatever is best. Don't.
I feel like this is something that we shouldn't mess with. And if we have extra spells, it probably would not be the worst idea to have a regiment going, as it were.
That would be fine. I mean, are we gonna settle down then?
Well, if I'm
Or-
casting Leoman's hut, that leaves me 4 remove curses that I can cast.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to let me double check my spells because I don't know that I have it prepared.
Well, we have time.
Yeah, we have time. So if I can't do it today, then we can do it later on. I can trade some of my a billion healing spells for this. I have greater restoration prepared. I've got 3 slots I can burn for it. Or no, I've got 2 slots I can burn for it. So at least for today. So
Well,
what have you got, Vault? As far as
I have lesser restoration or remove curse. We don't know specifically what magics work best on this, but I would feel better if we had extra spells. We at least like rotate through the party so everyone's getting a remove
Okay.
curse every day or two, or some form of restoration.
Well, let's set up the hut first and get settled in, and then we can do that sort of thing.
Okay.
So we'll find like a nice place that's as disguisable as possible in a big old field. So high brush, any bushes, anything at all.
You're able to find some boulders.
Okay.
That's a nice boulder.
Waiting for
Put the
someone to make that joke.
We'll put the hut next to the boulders and make it gray like a boulder.
Look at this perfectly spherical boulder.
Beautiful boulder.
Oh God, we got like 1% of a meme there from Max.
All right. So you're
Okay.
able to set up the hut. You guys are all inside, I assume?
Yep. There's
Island.
8 of us, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each tree. 7.
7.
Give me a bit. I can
So
prepare roof curse to cover any gaps you two might have. I've got 2
Okay.
available.
I can
Well-
cast Greater Restoration twice.
so that means, do we want to start the rotation, or do we want to get everyone then start the rotation?
I mean, we're about to go to bed, aren't we? So
Yeah, and nothing can get into the tent. So yeah.
Lish'll kind of clap his hands together and wiggle his fingers with a little bit of magic and be just like, all right, well, who wants to get restored first?
Dr. Lish.
Hey, here, clear! Zap. He will, he'll zap Demir. I think Demir's probably popped out of polymorph at this point, so he'll just give her a little hand back massage zap. And I guess he'll also do zap himself.
Okay.
So I remove curse on myself, and that leaves 3 more. Hawk can get themself. So 1 for Aaron, 1 for Eitri, and 1 for Toby.
We zip zap zop our way to clear minds, pure hearts, etc.
Does my remove curse click on anyone?
You don't know.
Excellent. We should also be remembering who's...
A little restoration one day, a little remove curse the other day, and should even out whichever one works or doesn't work.
Exactly. So we should make note of who got what. So Volk.
If we don't get into any battles tomorrow, I should have more spell slots to burn on this.
It better safe than sorry, since we literally saw what happens. Volk, Eitri, Aaron, and Toby got cursed. Hawk, you're removing cursing on yourself, right?
Yeah, I've just double checked the rules. I don't think I can just replace one spell before a long rest, so I'll hit myself with it in the morning.
I'm pretty sure you can change your spells on a short rest.
Nope, it's gotta be a long rest for a paladin.
Oh, weird. Okay,
According to
Hawk will get
spellcasting rules, at
himself in the
least.
morning. So I'll just write you down now, and we've restored Lish and Demir. Okay, that's everyone has gotten a spell. We have begun the preventative measures.
Okay. Is there anything anyone would like to accomplish during the night?
I have a question. Before we left the city, was there a long rest of about a day, maybe? Or whatever?
Did we long
you
rest
gotta...
before
Yeah,
we
because
left
like
the
I
city?
missed it. I missed whether we rested before we left the city.
We had it in. Did we end up?
I stayed in the inn, and then, well, you guys
We got the
hung
slaves
out
and then we
in the
slept.
evening with the formerly enslaved person in Demi-Plane.
So, my question then is, would a rest have happened in the material plane? Because Zoda used all of her eligible slots for message.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. While Lish is in the middle of his trance, an annoying little wizard voice is going to crash in from the sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like, hey Lish, how you doing? It's me again, Zoda. I need a little more help. That was probably already like the bulk of the budget, huh? I'm not taking it back though. Toby, thoughts?
Obi thoughts.
Toby, thoughts? She did approach you about demeanor already.
Lish like opens creaks an eye open slightly, like, what the fuck? He's just like, what the hell do you mean, Toby thoughts? Toby's right here and he's fine. He had a little scrape earlier today, but everything is going well. How are you? Doesn't have any context, so.
Good. Glad he's good too. Didn't count words. I need things you think of when you think of Toby. Little project.
How many words does this have? This is
25 sending.
This is 25. Tobias is very brave, stronger than he knows. I think of owls for him. Words. And the way he blushes when he's being shy. And that's my words.
Pretty fucking gay.
Homosexuality in this campaign? No way.
No.
You get a ping back. Cool, very good. I need some for leaving now.
He responds back, what is this project?
Alright, I took out a fourth level spell slot. Oh, wait.
Yeah, no, he has this be like, what is this project? And he'll think for another second and go, Levy is meadow flowers and sweetness, book smarts, and so much heart and care.
Right. She'll spend her. Now that she's out of third level, she'll spend a fourth level to give him a proper response and say, "Thanks a bunch. Demir commissioned me for a sending stone project, and don't tell her, but I'm getting it engraved." Thanks for your cooperation. Won't bother you again. Bye.
Alicia's just like, and then goes into his trance again. I guess, like, after a little bit of wakefulness, falls back to trance.
I'm gonna miss having to do this.
Do we have a dedicated watch schedule?
Tobias will take a watch because he feels too anxious to lay down after their last encounter.
Yeah, and I'll get a watch.
then we have the two sleepless, of course.
Yeah. Lish will take the first half of trancing, and then Hawk can take the end half.
The way the Warforged thing works, I'm basically just a light sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to put it, I think. That's still Zoda's sheet. Let me actually bring up Hawk's sheet so I can double check this. He's not a half orc. He does not have he's not a cloistered scholar. He does not have any of this shit.
Well, does Warforged are 6 hours still, aren't they? Or are they?
Yeah, when you take a long rest, you must spend at least 6 hours in an inactive,
Yes.
motionless state rather than sleeping. In this state, you appear inert, but it doesn't render you unconscious, and you can see and hear as normal.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a light sleeper.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
more or less the same.
Yeah, he has the
Trancing,
Windows update screen layered over his vision while he does this.
Lish will just take the bulk of his trance the first half then.
Mhm.
All right. For those of you keeping watch, I would love perception check.
I'll do one because I see. It's not like my perception's good anyway. Yep, that's a 1.
Vice got a 17.
23 for Aaron.
12. Zoda distracted me.
All right. So at some point during the night, it starts to rain pretty heavily. You guys are, of course, protected by the hut, but there's the soft of rain. Aaron, you can hear whispers within the rain, but you can't really make out what they're saying.
TBH, that's kind of like. I feel like that's pretty much the norm around here. Something kind of creepy is happening that I can't quite pick up on. I just have to deal with that. He will, like, mention it to, like, the next watch, but, like, yeah, not much to be done.
Also, at one point during the night, you see a skeleton is kind of walking down the road that you guys have been traveling along. And it's interesting because based on what knowledge you have of like basic undead, they don't tend to. They tend to just be more like puppets. But this one seems to be walking with purpose and seems to be kind of like keeping an eye on its surroundings.
That's interesting.
It's John Skilliman.
Well, since it's the end of the day and he's not gonna have a use for it otherwise, he will burn his detect undead to make sure that's what it is.
It is undead.
Unsurprising. All right, well, to quote a Marvel movie, that just happened.
All right. So you all come to consciousness in the morning. Is there anything, morning, is there anything anyone would like to accomplish before you set out again?
I'm going to hit myself to remove curse, and it seemingly does nothing. Because there's nothing to dispel, I hope. You will
Maybe.
never know.
So we did hit everybody then with all of the curses
Yeah,
and
everybody's been hit with at least one dispel spell.
Okay.
There
I
was
will note
Lish hit people with greater, and everyone else got removed.
I will also note it is still raining.
Good.
Boo, soggy.
I'll keep myself down 1/3 level slot for that. Totally fine. We can work with these.
Gotta
Alright.
do that preventative health care.
Remember, kids, take your vaccine. Dispel spells.
uh, so we got some more traveling to do.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So,
I shall resummon the griffin.
as you guys continue along the path, at one point, Lish, you can spot someone approaching from the direction that you're headed.
Did they appear to be shambly or walking confidently?
Perception check.
Ooh, not bad, not bad. 24?
24.
Mm.
It's interesting. Now that you've spotted them, you can see it's actually two people with kind of some more shambly things at their feet. But the two people just they seem to be regular people. And look, what did you get again?
24?
24. Looking closer, you can see that they seem to be both Kenku. One of them is albino, and the little more shuffling things at their feet seem to be skeletal geese that they are herding.
Little skeletal runner duck sort of guys. Oh my
Hmm.
god. Lish kind of slows down to a trot and kind of sniffs the air curiously. Like, hmm. He wonders for like a hot second if one of them could be B, but doesn't hold out much hope.
Yeah. I mean, they don't seem to be like as you guys get closer. But yeah, they seem to be wearing darkened clothing. The albino one is holding an umbrella over himself and his apparent partner and their little skeletal geese. And they're all kind of shuffling together on the trail.
Well, I'm gonna assume that's charming.
Little Mary Poppins geese.
Frankly, the one that isn't albino is wearing a little tricorn hat, and the pieces of clothing that she's wearing just seem to be very very piecemeal, like they are scavengers, and they've got maybe like 7 geese skeletons with them. Kind of,
Keep going and see if we can get close to them without them scattering.
Yeah, definitely. They are kind of watching you guys cautiously.
Lish's tail starts picking up and wagging.
One of the geese skeletons honks at you.
Oh my god.
Another one hisses.
Bulk staring motherfucker.
Temptation to chase the duck geese.
Bach's about to have a goose territory standoff.
Lish kind of like gets a little closer and he kind of like gives him a sniff.
The geese or the kenkus?
Both.
Okay. Kenkus seem a little weirded out, but they don't say anything because they're kenkus. One of them, the albino one holding the umbrella, mimics the hissing sound of the goose, but also sounds very questioning about it.
Yes?
Lish will like back up a couple steps and he'll give like a little wolfy mock bow with the little paw and little head tilt
Ooh, woo.
down. A little woo bow.
How woo do you do?
Well,
The
I guess.
female Kenku speaks in a masculine voice in Elvish. Are you lost?
No.
Hawk knows Elvish.
Just passing by. He'll reply in kind.
They both kind of look at you and chirp a little.
Oh, I suppose we could get directions.
Mm-hmm.
Do they know how to sign?
You don't know.
I attempt signing at them.
They both just look at you.
Okay, they're not that kind of Kenku. So I guess I respond in Elvish. Not lost, heading west to fucking McFuckety. What are the mountains we're going towards called, party?
Fucking McFuckety, apparently.
We just taught the Kenku how to swear in Elvish.
We're heading west to the mountain range. We are on a monster hunt. Are we still on the correct route?
The albino one speaks up at this point. There's a storm over the mountains. Then the female says, in a different voice this time, rickety bridge.
So take the rickety bridge to get to the mountains. And is the storm a literal storm, or are we talking about the Phoenix?
They just shrug and point back behind them.
There are a lot of storm clouds in the sky. It could be either.
It's currently raining right now. If there's a rickety bridge, we'll need to be cautious.
One of them makes like the hissing sound of the rain around you guys already.
Yeah.
And then the female like picks up one of the goose skeletons and starts petting it.
The most adorable pair of necromancers this side of the Shadowfell.
Somebody ask them their names. I want to know.
Well, that's your fault for being I was about to say a duck.
Who would win? Who would win? 7 wolf-sized ducks or 1 duck-sized wolf?
You want me to waste my wild shape?
No, I'm just
hold up for like 2 more levels probably at this point.
Okay. What's your guys' names?
Oh,
Do you have them?
I guess I get to be the party face.
The female makes the sound of 2 tankards kind of clinking against each other, like you would hear in a tavern.
So clunk.
Or cheers.
Her name is Clink. And the albino male one makes the sound of a boot kind of stepping in the mud, the kind of squelchy sound.
So his name's Squelch.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln Squelch.
Well, nice to meet you. How close of an approximation is Valk able to get?
Of what?
Of a clink noise and a squelch noise, I can assume.
Yes.
Roll performance check.
That would be a 21.
Not bad.
Valk reveals the mockingbird part of her genes.
She make bird noise.
All right. Are there any other questions you'd like to ask Clink and Squelch?
Ask him about any dangers up ahead aside from like the bridge. Any monsters or.
Yeah. We appreciate the warning. Is there anything else we should look out for?
Clink makes the sound of the lonely that you guys heard yesterday, that sort of like mournful wail. And Squelch kind of like elbows her a little bit and like waves his arms to indicate something big, and then goes like this to say, don't get close.
More of those things, and then a big thing we should avoid. Got it.
Well, we killed a couple of the sad boys and an angry boy back that way. So, but thank you for the warning on the big un.
Clink repeats in your own voice, thank you for the warning on the bigger. and then Squelch just says, in your voice, bigger, over and over again. And then
they found a new word they like.
And then in a different voice, that's dangerous.
The bigger is dangerous.
I love them.
Oh, should take.
They live. Where do they live with these geese ducks?
Do you have a home nearby? Where are you headed?
Clink says, in a feminine voice, just wandering.
Fair enough.
Just wandering.
Well, safe travels on your wander.
Yes, be safe.
Be safe, they repeat in Hawk's voice. All right. So if that's it, you guys managed to pass them without incident. The geese kind of give Lish a wide berth, given that he is Puppo right now.
A large dog, scared.
His tail's still wagging. He's very tempted to play with the duck geese, but he holds back.
All right. At this point, I would love another D20 roll.
I can do it.
Well, I already did it.
Oh, okay.
All's good. An 18.
18. All right.
Please tell me I fucked over the party.
The rest of the day seems rather uneventful for the most part for a while. But I recall, Avalk, actually, you are the one in the back if we're keeping the same marching order as last time.
Sure.
Perception check, please.
Okay. Okay, apparently this die is just rolling 18s. That would be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. After a while, a small sort of flickering form starts to seem to be following you guys from a distance.
Is it within divine sense range?
Not at the moment.
No, not divine sense ranger. Divine sense range. 60 feet. I get. What's our traveling order again?
It was, to my knowledge, Lish carrying Demir and Tobias. After that, it was Hawk and Biog next to Eitri on the broom, and then I recall that actually both of the Azamar were together on Sleipnir.
Okie doke. Volk elbows Aaron and points out the shape, and then clops forward and points it out to Hawk on Biog.
Sort of like...
I'd like Hawk and Aaron to, at this point, make perception checks so that they can see if they can make out any more details of this flickering thing.
I can already tell that I'm not going to be able to, but we'll try anyway.
Yeah, this is low light, so disadvantages because stuff. So,
Right.
Hawk, have enhanced dark vision.
Okay, I will drop this other D20 I just picked up then. Okay, 13.
18 for Aaron.
Neither of you can really make out any details of this creature.
Detailed files.
But it seems to be following you guys, maintaining a safe distance.
And I guess Toby gets dark vision for an hour as well. Bye, Demir. Have fun.
Does everybody in the party notice that we're being followed?
I mean, you're definitely pointing it out, I think.
At this point.
No reason to keep it a secret. Unless there's an imposter among us.
Amogus.
I said that and immediately regretted it.
Do we want to be proactive on this, or are we ignoring it? And Toby, you have dark vision for the next hour.
I mean,
Okay, cool.
we could potentially outrun it. How fast does it seem to be going?
It's matching pace, correct?
It's keeping pace with you guys.
Well, it's still a ways back behind us.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem terribly big.
Can just keep an eye out. See if it attracts anything else to it.
Actually, Lish, the glow seems to remind you a little bit of Esme.
Oh, ghost? Ghost can't hurt us.
Esme was nice, so clearly all other ghosts are nice too.
Maybe it will get bored and it will give up the ghost.
I can't believe Lish just died.
Take
That was-
12d12 punishment.
that was Kenzie, so Kenzie will take that. Yeah, I mean, well, I think we just kind of keep going and keep an eye on it, unless Valkyria is feeling particularly exorcism-y.
I'd rather it not catch up to us in the night and have a lack of resources or location to deal with it. I'm inclined to see if I can't get close enough to it to double check if it is indeed undead.
Okay. You slow down Sleipnir, and
Slippy.
you slow down Slippy, and then roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Uh, 21.
21. You are able to get closer. It is indeed undead, and looking at it, you can't really, as I said, it's small, but you can't really tell if it's like the ghost of a child or like smaller folk, like a halfling or a gnome, given that it seems oddly blurry. The ghost seems to be wearing very old-fashioned clothing. That's the best you could tell. You can't even tell potential gender.
Okay, we do indeed have a ghost.
Yeah, it's just watching you. It doesn't seem to be making any moves towards you now that you're closer to it.
It's standing there menacingly.
So, what would you like to do?
We can either attempt to make contact, we could blast it into its afterlife, or we could ignore it and hope it goes away. What do you think, Aaron?
I mean, I'm not in love with being followed, but it hasn't necessarily made ill intent known. I have mute I can throw at it.
It hasn't done anything outwardly hostile to you guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, Valk is trying to be respectful of the differences on this plane and not just go swing happy.
Yeah. I mean, I think we probably shouldn't attack it.
Try and don't do it.
So we are contemplating contact or ignoring. Fuck it.
We've all stopped.
I give it a wave.
It kind of tilts its head to the side, Falk and just looks at you.
Oh, great. It's gonna be creepy. Falk kind of gives it a gesture at it, just
The
like,
camera is off.
oh,
So-
it is?
Yeah.
It is.
When did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh. There you go. You're back. Hello.
Falk kind of gives a gesture at it,
Chew.
just, to gently ward it off. And it's just like, hey, we don't want to do anything. Just kind of don't give us a reason to do anything.
Its head goes to the other side. You have to watch him.
Aaron tilts his head to mirror its.
It turns its body towards you, just very fluidly, Aaron, and tilts its head to look at you.
Does it look like curious? Does it have an expression on its face?
Kind of hard to tell. You can roll an insight check.
It is old and detailless.
It's blurry. It's blurry and small.
Perception or insight? What was it you said?
Insight.
15.
15. Okay. Let's see. I will message you.
I'll message you. Aw. Curious. Lish kind of like tilts his head and like looks at Volk from the front back of the line. But he'll trot up to Volk and be kind of nudge Volk with his nose, kind of like, maybe see if there's a mind inside of there. Maybe not, but
Okay. I am the most qualified to deal with the undead. I guess Volk swings off of Slippy and steps a touch closer.
It doesn't move. But its body does turn away from Erin to just very fluidly focus on you now.
don't get possessed.
Hmm.
Your camera died again.
Yeah, it sounds like it's having
Yeah, like Jolton and
plug-in
Wish around the place a
issues.
little bit too. So
Bitch, me too. I also have issues. You're not special.
camera holding all the attention today. SMH.
Camera? Hello?
Oh.
Not even.
Okay, whatever. I'll figure it out while I'm not actively being the person talking to things. Well, I guess I cycle through Common, Celestial, Elvish, and Signing. saying hello, see if I can get a response out of it that isn't be creepy.
It seems to perk up a little bit when you use Elvish.
Okay, so it recognizes Elvish. Greetings, little one. May I be of aid in your on death, or are you just gonna creep on us?
It doesn't say anything, but it's definitely watching you.
What are you, a child, and your parents told you not to talk to strangers? Cat got your tongue?
You hear inside your head just kind of discordant whispering.
Ah, motherfucker. Okay, could you maybe leave before I have to take actions to protect my peoples?
I don't think there's a mind inside that head.
Okay, fuck you. Turn undead.
Valk say in the firmest way possible, go away.
Don't make me bring out my manager.
Okay. That's a saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That's an actual 20.
Motherfucker.
Does retreat a couple of steps, but it seems sad now.
Valk having a
Valk!
connection.
What's happening over there?
Nothing. That's the problem.
If nothing's happening in both directions, maybe we should just keep going.
If you want, at this point, I walk back up to Slippy, push Aaron further forwards on the saddle, and then hop on facing backwards.
Ah! I've been pushed.
And Valk's just like, I'm gonna watch you, motherfucker.
I'm watching you.
How close was Volk able to get to the ghost?
I think like right in his face.
Pretty
Like
close.
right up to?
Yeah.
Lish is kind of like interested. He's gonna go towards like the back of the line as they continue to move forward, and he wants to kind of keep an eye on the ghosty.
Okay. I mean,
I assume it continues to follow us.
yeah. Lish and Valk, you can see that the ghost like continues to follow you guys.
Can I see if it's like saying anything? Like read its lips as it whispers? Can I make out any words or phrases?
Perception check.
So you are back, but it's like 480p and 5 FPS.
28. Oh.
Oh no. What hath you gleaned?
How old does this ghost look? Like, not very old? Or like, it's hard to tell?
Hard to tell. you can tell that its clothes are pretty old-fashioned. It's small.
Oh.
So either it's a kid or it's a halfling.
Quick,
Lish,
Give
it
it
understood
the-
Elfish.
quick, give
Lish
it the
kind of,
creepy
like-
Toby doll.
Lish kind of like stalls a little bit and like kind of whines and looks from Volk to the ghost and back to Volk again. It's kind of like, but Volk.
Lish has seen a child in distress and must drop absolutely everything to make sure it gets better.
Speak with animals. Is this druid only?
I mean, Demir can translate, I guess.
Is she
Demir's a
human?
squirrel.
I mean, she was a squirrel. She might not be a squirrel anymore.
She can
Probably
only
more
be a
frustration.
squirrel for an hour, so
Yeah.
Okay.
she walked out of that yesterday. So
Lish can be an animal for as long as he likes. He's like
Demir.
Zeus, except less terrible.
like Zeus. Oh God.
I mean, yeah,
Uh,
like, are you telling me that Vervain wouldn't only visit the mortal realm in animal form?
He has, he will, and he will continue to.
Exactly. Half the time,
Demir, what is your husband going on about?
Demir could just translate.
Yeah. And we're just like, look, he is like a child. It's a child. Are we sure we can't help? A ghost child. It's saying it's golden lost. It's asking if we have a fire to share. Valkyria.
Toby. Tobines.
Wings.
Tobuckus.
What?
Does this child match the one from your vision of the doll owner child thingy?
DM, would I need to make a perception?
Perception or insight?
I
Okay.
do have an idea in the meantime.
What, light the ghost on fire?
No, give it a torch.
10.
And can't really tell. Probably not.
I can't really tell if it's the same, but I'm more inclined to believe that it isn't.
It's saying that it's cold and lost, and if we could share a fire with it.
What do my teachings say about helping ghosts along their way?
We can certainly make a fire.
Volk, roll a religion check.
Oh yeah, I was sleeping through that class.
Uh-oh. Valk, just how
that
many...
would be a 10.
Valk, just how many monastery sessions did you sleep through?
Yes.
Generally, as a lawful good deity, if 2 of your 3 deities are generally against undead.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, does smiting their ever-loving shit out of them blast them out of existence or send them on their way?
You rolled a 10.
Fair. Because Valk is trying not to judge for their fucking unfortunateness of ending up as a ghost and just wants to help them on their way.
You said it's asking for a fire. Could I give them a torch? It'd attract the birds, but it'd be a fire. We're not using them anyway.
I don't. Can a ghost hold a torch?
mean, it's the
I don't know.
fastest way we have to start a fire.
I mean, you've noticed that Esme has trouble holding things sometimes.
We could just take a short rest and see what we can do. No? Do you have nothing? You are a priest, aren't you? You don't have any way of sending a wayward soul off? Lish is like, what kind of priests are these?
A
Can't even
bad
do
one.
left, right.
I mean, given Hawk's background? Valk's background. Like, I don't think that the people that took charge of her were very interested in funeral rites.
Yeah, I was a figurehead and then a holy warrior and then kind of self-taught more cleric stuff. So wait a second. I'm literally holding a prayer book of a goddess of death.
Oh, yeah.
That
point.
might be helpful. Unless if I have a helpful spell.
So, do you stop the procession to look through your book?
I mean, if we're gonna stop to leaf through the prayer book, we may as well set up a fire and a short rest.
More, I would be looking through the prayer book if we're stopping for a short rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. Lish is gonna try and
Any
get a little
objections?
closer to the ghost and just see if he can maybe get more information.
Okay. What kind of information are you looking for?
Just kind of looking for more details on their person, see if he can't catch more of what they're whispering. Give like a little circle around and see how they react.
Well, as I said, they're small. You can't really see the face because it's too blurry. They seem to be wearing shoes. Their clothes are old-fashioned, but they look sort of torn and worn out in a lot of places. There's a few loose threads and bits that have yet to be repaired.
Does it seem to react to Lish as he comes around and kind of sniffs at them?
I mean, it just does the kind of head tilt to look at you.
Mm-hmm. Does it like turn in a circle to continue watching me as I go around it?
It's kind of funny. It's just you always seem to be looking at it from the same angle as it turns to watch you.
Interesting. I can't catch any more of what it's saying though.
Not at this point, no.
It just kind of seems to say the same things.
Mm-hmm. It does shiver at one point.
Oh.
And I will note it's still raining.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fire a little harder, isn't it?
You guys are chilled by the rain as well.
Mm-hmm. Can Lish kind of try and like get closer to it and kind of cuddle around it a little bit and like get it into his fur?
Roll a persuasion check.
Don't touch it.
Too late.
Uh-oh.
What was that, persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
14.
14. It allows you to get close, and it's weird because in the places in your fur that touch it, it just feels like a sort of yawning cold.
Hmm.
Not in the
Even
comfortable way that you deal with as the Lord of the Winter. This is a cold of emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
Is someone gonna start a fire? Falk's studying, I guess.
Well, we need wood for that. They probably want something over the wood because it's raining.
And
I think
start looking for wood. Mm.
Okay.
I think feeling kind of the yawning cold, he's gonna judge that he can't really help, so he'll just take a step back again, and he'll trot over to the rest of the group.
Sorry, Gesundheit.
Demir says she can probably make kindling for the fire using the wand of flowers.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
She'll tell them that I'm not sure that the child can be warmed, but is there no way to help it pass on?
I'm
He kind of
working on it.
looks at he like gets his nose like by your arm, like reading over your shoulder, like
Valk has her wings mantled to protect the book from the rain.
big soggy dog head underneath your wings.
Do I find anything helpful in the book?
Oh, religion check.
16. No. Yes. No. Yes. 16.
The book seems to believe that undead is an abomination, and calls for followers of the Raven Queen to put them down when called upon.
Nothing.
The ghost is shivering.
Lish isn't gonna like that.
No. I don't got anything immediately helpful for sending them on their way as far as I can tell. What does ceremony do?
Not that. Ceremony is like, if I recall correctly, it's a spell that you basically use to officiate weddings and like reinstate paladin oaths or like get...
Oh, I could give it a funeral rite.
Oh, okay.
That's the best I got. And it's a ritual. Oh. Does anybody have some silver that I can use for the spell?
Aaron will toss you some coins.
Okay, good enough.
You would need the creature's corpse.
God damn it.
I think the best we can do is give them the sort of symbolic satisfaction of a fire, unless we're
I'm running out of options here that don't involve blasting it out of existence.
Lish doesn't look very happy with that option, but
Aaron doesn't either.
I'm trying to figure out a way to get it to move on, but wait a second. What's this spell?
I mean, maybe like a remove curse would work on undead. I don't know.
I don't think so. Just
If
like
we
that.
have a ruby, I could give it a continual flame.
I don't think we have a ruby. Any rubies we might have come across were probably liquidated.
Yeah, we had a bag of gems from the dragon. I mean, I have some of Demir's stuff, but I don't know. I don't want to
I
really
don't
go
think.
through that.
Yeah.
We were holding on to gemstones because aren't powdered gemstones required for the
That's
tattoos?
true. We did keep some of the gems for tattoos in the future.
Does anyone remember
The dragon horde, so
Does anyone remember what gems we kept?
it was just bago gems
Ah, okay. So we
worth
didn't.
such and such money. So if we
Okay.
go through that, we could probably find like a couple gold's worth of rubies, probably, right?
Yeah, there are probably some rubies in there, but how does the ruby need to be worth X amount?
Ruby
what
dust
something.
worth 50 gold pieces.
Ruby dust worth 50 gold pieces.
So I would say that there's rubies in there, but you need to find a way to turn them to dust.
Somebody's got an alchemist kit. I think Demir has it, or Lish has it. Somebody had one.
Tobias has alchemist supplies.
Hmm. Could you smash up a ruby?
Ruler's kit would also potentially work for this.
I think we have a jeweler's kit on anybody. We
Uh,
got Tinker's tools, but that's not the same thing at all.
Tobias can smash up a ruby since he has alchemist supplies.
Okay. That would be I think that's an intelligence check. But let me check.
I'd actually love to know where you find the stats you use with different tool types because I could never find them. So Tinker's tools is a question mark for me.
I just use my best judgment.
Fair enough. I'll leave it blank then.
Okay. Cause my thinking is alchemist to be arcana, which would be an intelligence check.
My thought is kind of based on what they're trying to do. So I would, but I'm not DMing.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say with with an intelligence check, plus if you have a proficiency in alchemist supplies, you could add that as well. Otherwise, it would just be an intelligence check.
It does say that he has a proficiency in it, but I don't know, like what.
+5.
Okay.
And have a guidance as well, since I'm literally sitting right here.
That's an extra D4, right?
Correct.
So intelligence check, 17 + 2, and then D4.
The little kid Lish can read a little bit more of what he's saying. Is that a campfire would help just for the night?
20.
20. Yeah, you're able to powder the rubies just fine.
And while you're doing that, I'm prepping the spell, at which point, when I have rubies, where do you want your never-ending fire, little buddy?
We could set up a mock campfire and put the flames in it.
Yeah,
Just
probably...
off the beaten trail?
Yeah.
And it could come and sit with us.
Okay, so just off the trail, we set up a little campfire, and I make a never-ending fire, which cannot be smothered or quenched.
So you create the endless flame, and the little ghost comes up and sits next to it, holding out hands to try to warm themselves. And you can, it's difficult to still see their face, but you can see from their shoulders that they sigh and seem relieved, and eventually they, I assume you guys are taking a short rest here next to the flame.
Yeah.
Eventually, throughout the hour, the ghost curls up next to the fire to try to get warm. When they disappear, a hero's feast is left in their place.
Oh.
We helped it move on.
So,
See, now wasn't that better than just attacking it?
so for those of you unfamiliar with Hero's Feast, it's a grand feast, including magnificent food and drink. The feast takes 1 hour to consume and disappears at the end of that time. The beneficial effects don't set in until the hour is over. Up to 12 other creatures can partake of the feast. A creature that partakes in the feast gains several benefits. The creature is cured of all diseases and poison, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum also increases by 2d10 and gains the same number of hit points. These benefits last for 24 hours.
Well, that'll be handy for our next combat.
And all of the foods here seem to be like traditional elvish foods, along with some sweets that are popular among elvish children. So let me just quickly roll a couple of d10 just to see how many temporary hit points you get.
Oh, it's different for everyone. Okay.
You guys get 10 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
Woo! And now we have a rock that is perpetually on fire.
So if Val can do that, can we get a rock that's perpetually leaking wine? Listen, greatest get rich quick scheme of the century. Come on.
How do you store something like that? Do you have like a
It doesn't actually create heat or use oxygen.
yeah, but like won't it still like burn things around it though? Does it not burn? It doesn't create heat, but it doesn't burn either. It just creates light? What does it do?
Yes.
That's a good question.
It's a flame equivalent in brightness to a torch, springs forth from an object that you touch. The effect looks like a regular flame, but it creates no heat and doesn't use oxygen. A continual flame can be covered or hidden, but not smothered or quenched.
So it's kind of like the ghost of a torch bulb, long forgot. Okay.
It's an infinite torch, basically. It even says duration until dispelled.
Burning. We should definitely probably not keep that out though, because the light does attract the monsters.
You can keep it in your pocket and pull it out as a party trick.
Put it in your pocket. What's in your pockets is.
I'll show you. Fire.
What do you got there? A fire! No!
Well, we short rested here, and I guess we have a feast to eat.
Lots of food.
Lish will pop out of his wolf form to eat.
Hawk actually looks kind of delighted. He probably recognizes some of this from his former life. So I would imagine that the family, that Jamie's family probably had a couple of these things. Because they were in Island. Yeah.
And I get my wild shapes back if we short rest. So.
And Hawk can have the candy since he can magic item.
Wonderful. Gonna eat some food that a child gave us. Child ghost food. Oh.
Thank you, child ghost food. Also, I suppose I read some funerary rites or whatever from the book,
Yeah.
or some
If you want to, sure.
lines of passage or whatever would be appropriate. Since it would appear I am adding the Raven Queen to the pantheon of people I worship.
Incidentally.
Hey,
Time to pick up Loveland Warlock.
no. A pantheist with an emphasis on saving Mistra's ass.
All right. Are there any conversations that would like to be had while you guys eat and rest?
Lish is just like on Volk's arm, just like, good job, good job. See, you can help the ghosts pass on. Better than you thought.
That's the thought. You know, undead shouldn't be maintained, but, you know, it's not their fault that they didn't pass on properly, and so should be helped in regards to this. I also love how Max is just phasing in and out of existence.
Ooh,
Thing it didn't work.
to the
Hang on.
border.
It's when you lean back, it was
So
triggered.
my-
You have to
So now
cover
what?
Leaned
your
back.
face a little.
Oh yeah. Wait.
And now it isn't.
Oh wait.
Oh, there goes an arm.
My arm. My arm.
I think it tracks your face.
It
so if you
definitely
cover
tracks my face.
your face, then it will think you're part of the
Wait, so what
background
happens if
too.
I
But
Okay,
back
nothing.
up some more.
something to toy with later, maybe?
Gotta test the algorithm. Well, I guess we all eat. Does everybody enjoy their child ghost dinner?
Make sure to eat your vegetables.
Yeah, I will say at this point you can roll the wisdom saving throws again, but you have advantage due to the hero's feast.
Yo.
And everyone gets a +3 since you're within range of me.
Okay.
Everyone gets a 15 again.
25.
Yeah, 22.
Okay.
Should I roll for Demir as well, or would you like to?
Yeah, you can roll for Demir.
Oh, natty 20. That's a 30 on my whiz save.
Cool.
And then for Demir.
Tobias got an 11 because it's a +3 from Valk, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's an 11.
And advantage, remember.
Oh, I forgot.
22 for Demir.
Holy shit, Tobias got a nat 20.
Yay! Tobias
That's a
doesn't feel
24.
worse.
Y'all are doing just fine. Mostly thank you to the nice, warm hero's feast that you just consumed.
We're just in the rain eating unsoggable bread.
I imagine Biog is like giving wing shelter to at least 2 people.
I mean, we could throw up the fortress temporarily if we
could.
want.
It'll draw attention, but we could.
I
It
could
doesn't
just
have,
straight up
like-
do. Oh wait, no, it takes an hour to put up the tiny hut if I'm not using a spell slot.
Yeah.
Mm,
Never mind.
It's okay. We'll just eat it on the side of the road and be grateful.
You will eat your food and be grateful.
Just eat it.
I
Just
All
think
right.
eat it.
Aaron just died. Okay.
To the hardware store.
Wow, there's a
Poisoned
lot of
elf
that going
ghost
around
child
today.
food. No.
Well, once you guys are finished with your hero's feast, you continue on for another couple of hours before you can set up rest for the night.
Do we need to roll again? Or is that our encounter for the day?
That was your encounter for the day. You got Burbs and you got Ghost. All right. Are there any conversations that would like to be had that evening?
Yes, the next round of inoculations.
Lish will put his CPR hands together. Who wants to get zapped?
I've got 2 remove curses to throw around.
Make sure
this
you're
time.
marking down all the diamond dust it needs for greater restoration.
Yeah. I got it.
I mean, I trust you. I'm just obligated to say.
Yeah,
So
we've
how many
got
restorations do you have, and how many are we passing out?
Oh,
Who's getting them, rather?
Lish and Demir are the only ones that haven't been removed cursed. And then the people who haven't been greater restoration are Valk, Eitri, Aaron, Toby, and Hawk.
I think I'll probably do Aaron and maybe Toby and Eitri.
Valk is feeling good, but believes in inoculation, but is willing to wait a day. Hawk, where are you at?
I hit myself with it this morning, so I should be okay.
We could also be doing lesser restorations.
Lesser restoration only works on like very
Less
limited
stuff.
things.
I also don't have it prepared, so.
I do.
Yeah, lesser only does diseases, blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. So.
Oh yeah, never mind.
So, Lish, you were doing greater restoration on Toby and Ichi?
Yeah.
Okay.
That.
Ooh,
And Lish and Demir get remove curses.
Wait a minute, I just realized something that I could be doing, actually.
Yes.
I've got a 14th level paladin feature that ends spell effects.
These aren't spells, so.
Oh, yeah.
But that would be handy.
Maybe later. So, an ambient curse or property of the plane doesn't really read as a spell to me either, on second thought, but I mean, if someone gets friggin' feeble-minded or something, I've got that in my back pocket.
Yeah, which feeble-minded is not fun.
There's a lot of magical debuffs that this would come in handy with.
Just not today.
Not today.
Not today, Satan. Sorry, I have one brain cell, and it is ping pong hour.
Oh, good. We'll
Suffering, I
probably
don't
call it soon-ish, because I got appointments, but
Fair enough.
yeah.
Lish will come over and give Toby's back a rub. We're all cold and wet.
Tobias seems, after using the Greater Restoration on him, he seems to have relaxed a little. His hand tremors have started to fade, and he seems like he has a little more energy.
He'll go and sit by Toby and hold his hand and kind of help warm him up because Toby's a little string bean. Must be cold.
You got no
Yay.
fat, boy.
Oh, definitely. He's cold to the touch.
We saved Toby without metagaming.
Woo!
Gotta do our inoculations against depression. The Zoloft inoculations.
I cast Zoloff. Oh, fuck.
Itri approaches you, Tobias, to say, so I wasn't entirely sure how to bring this up before, but I saw that you turned into an owl bear.
Oh.
Yeah. It's it comes as a side effect to a bite that I received years ago.
I have heard of lycanthropes, and I have to ask. You must understand, for the safety of my sister, it is safe. You seem pretty focused on the creature before, but I just want to make sure.
I understand. I'm in control.
Okay. Well, I have to say, I have never heard of a were owl bear that seems very unique. But I'm glad that my sister will be safe.
Your sister is actually the reason why I started using the transformation again. For the longest time, it was something that I avoided at all costs.
I will not pry into your personal affairs. I do appreciate you stepping in to assist when that creature stabbed me.
You're her family. You're important to her, and I'd say in a way that makes us family as well.
Itri kind of smiles and does like the little awkward one-arm hug that teenage boys do.
Tobias will return it, and I imagine it's just funny because when Itri does the one-armed hug, it's just like, yeah, wrapping your arm around a fucking like tree trunk or something. And then when Tobias fucking wraps his arm around Itri, all of a sudden he's just like, oh, I am like, even just a side hug gets covered.
All right. Any further conversations you'd like to have before dinner or before you rest for the evening?
I can't think of anything. Just kind of strategizing, I guess, for next. So when we reach the rickety bridge, we can all pretty much fly over it, I think. So it should hopefully be not too bad. If we find the rickety bridge.
All right. Same watches as before, I assume. We've got the various people staying awake.
Yep.
The rain eventually lets up overnight. But at one point, let's see. What would be interesting to have pass by? There's a strange wailing shriek at one point in the night. None of you can really see the source, the origin, but it does kind of startle all of you awake.
Well, that's rude.
I look out, try and see if I can see anything
Perception check.
here. Ha! 13.
Can't really see anything. But I'll tell you what, roll an intelligence check.
11.
11. You've heard stories of undead that release mournful wails, usually spirits of female elves. But she seems pretty distant.
The wailing.
All right. Other than that, evening passes uneventfully. You all come to consciousness in the morning. May I have another d20 roll?
Sure, 9.
That was a 9?
9, yeah.
Okay. So, as you are continuing westward towards the mountains, and you can see the mountains are more jagged and spire-like than their material plane counterparts. You do start to see more trees, more groves that you're passing by. Are you keeping a similar marching order on the trail?
I think so, more or
Okay.
less, unless someone wants to change things up.
So let's see. Tobias, you would spot this first, given your knowledge around tracking. But you can see some relatively recent cart tracks on the road around where you're walking, but they suddenly go off and veer into the grove. There are also little wolf tracks.
Tobias will point him out to the party. Does it look like the wolf tracks are following the cart tracks at all, or that the cart tracks have veered off to the side to avoid the wolves?
They look like they are following cart tracks.
It looks like potentially whoever was driving the cart and stuff started being chased by wolves.
How old do the tracks seem?
They seem pretty recent.
Should we go investigate?
Either there's people to help or loot to be had.
If they are still alive, I suppose it couldn't hurt to help them. I don't know what the wolves here are like, but
Oh, I'm
Well-
sure they'll be friendly.
They were chasing after a cart. I kind of doubt it.
Well, should we
Good
go investigate?
puppers. Yeah.
All right. So, I would love for, I would probably say Tobias, since he spotted them, to make a survival check to follow the trail.
Can he receive assistance?
Yes.
I will assist him.
I shall pay the rent.
Wow. Okay. That'll be a 15.
With advantage?
Yeah, with advantage.
Okay.
He rolled a 9 and then 8.
Oh, well.
Thanks. Oh, well.
I mean, it's
Mood.
enough.
Hey!
You are able to follow the trail. And it's interesting, Tobias, because you notice while following it, the trail looks older the further you follow it. And
Go ahead.
No, I was just sighing.
No, I'm talking about the DM.
Oh, sorry.
and when following the trail, you can find an abandoned horse cart loaded with several caskets and barrels of wine. The horses are gone, and the cart itself seems to have been here for about a week. Just strange in comparison to the fairly fresh tracks that you saw on the main road.
That's suspicious. Tobias will halt the group from going closer and inform them the age of the tracks no longer match up.
Could this be time dilation stuff?
I was wondering the same thing. Maybe we just accidentally walked through a bubble.
Well, either that or
Are there
It's-
still wolf tracks on the ground?
Couple, like, it looks like the wolves circled the cart for a bit and then left.
Okay.
But there are the caskets and barrels of wine.
Doesn't seem like there's anyone left to help.
Bless you.
I thought-
Bless you. Jeez, Max, you good?
I don't know.
Can I smell anything in the air? Get any
We're all
sense of
roll an investigation check.
nine?
9. You can smell the wine. You can smell that there are other wolves nearby.
There are wolves nearby.
We're early.
Maybe has the wine gone off? Could we take maybe some of the wine?
Yeah, you can take some wine.
Ooh. Anybody want wine? You can put it in the bag of holding.
Suspicious wine. You should just pour it into the bag, just straight, no container.
This is the first time we've had access to barrels of booze since that one bandit camp raid.
That
when
one
Aaron got
bandit
trashed,
camp.
drunk, and threw up everywhere.
Yeah. I think Aaron's also kind of thinking about that and is looking kind of ashamed.
Does it bring back the memories?
Or we could theoretically take the cart.
I think that might slow us down, don't you think? Should we investigate what's in the boxes, maybe? No bodies around.
Given that they're
Well,
casket.
Yeah, it looks like they've been there just for a week.
Well, let's have a couple people on watch and loot the wreckage. So, who wants to roll? Oh.
Hmm.
DM fleet.
Yeah, we should get confirmation from Avery before we loot anything.
Oh, there she is.
Okay. So there are about 10 caskets. How many do you
Okay.
want?
The bodies. Uh-oh. Should we maybe loot? Should we loot or bury if they're bodies?
No bodies.
Not that kind of
Oh.
casket.
Ah.
Caskets of wine.
I
The
see.
good kind of casket.
I don't think I've ever heard of wine being put in a casket
I
before.
mean, a cask,
Cask?
perhaps. But,
A casket is like a coffin.
I'm tired.
fair enough.
It's fine. Yeah, okay. We'll get some look at the casks and if there's any other boxes or signs of life or loot.
No signs of life. The loot is pretty much the wine.
Lush will pop out of his wild shape to see how much wine they could fit inside of the bag of holding.
I mean, how heavy is the cask usually?
Usually
I guess
they're
it
like
depends
barrel
on
size.
size.
So
I mean, a cask of wine could be
So,
like
about 500 pounds, according to what I'm looking at.
that's about what I can fit in my bag of holding.
Cool.
would you
So you take one of them?
I guess, yeah, we'd only take one.
Okay, so you can add one cask of Shadowfell wine to the bag of holding.
Hell yeah.
just an entire cask.
May as well.
Can't wait for us to get to like the party scene at the Feywild. And like everyone's just like, oh man, we forgot the wine. Let's just like, don't worry, I gotcha. And he pulls out an entire barrel out of the bag of holding. And everyone cheers.
All right.
Oh, that is a god-awful idea.
What I just said or what you just thought of?
What I just thought of.
Yeah.
We could have Eitri open up his demiplane and shit and put a shit ton of
And
wine
just give them
in
a
there.
bunch of wine.
We do not. I don't think giving them this many casks of wine is a good idea.
It's a
Have we
great
also like
idea.
checked that it's fine?
That's a good point.
We can always purify food and drink later if we need to.
Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 people capable of doing that.
You know, just a couple.
Is there anything else interesting around the carts? Any other signs of life or death?
Not that you can see.
The tracks circle around here, or do they?
The wolves track circle around for a bit and then head away. You don't see any humanoid tracks, though, which is interesting.
Maybe they're werewolves.
Ghost carriage? They flew off?
Werewolf ghosts.
Anyway, I think that's where we'll have to call session for the day. For those of you that arrived late, I have an appointment that I will have to get to.
Yeah, that's fair. We don't want to
Uh,
start anything monumental without Avery around anyway, so.
Yeah. But thank you for playing, guys. Super
Yeah,
fun,
thank you. Thank you
as
for hosting.
always. I'm honestly really glad that we hit the Shadowfell right around spooky season.
Oh, yeah.
It is good timing.
But anyway, I don't think we have any problems with what's playing next week. What is going on?
I haven't heard anything about next week, yeah, so.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Also, for those of you that are going to be in Portland on the 19th, I'm hoping to do a little birthday hangout at Weird.
I'll try and make it there.
But anyway, thanks for playing, and we'll see you next time.
See you around.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.